If you are considering whether to engage an agent, this is the podcast for you. Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of GetListed Podcast. I think today this is a very, as I always say, a very interesting topic. So, the reasons why an agent can make a difference in your transaction in real estate, correct? So, we have come up with a few points, actually not us lah. So, somebody came up with these few points, up to 10 points. Do you know it's who? You know who came up with these points? No, you don't know? You don't know?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. So basically, to be fair to everyone, right? You use ChatGPT because ChatGPT is
A compilation of all
a lot of searches and then a lot of articles, whichever. So I just key in, can list down a list of reasons why we should or should not engage an agent. So these are the 10 things that actually came up. So let's go for the first one. So one, ChatGPT said expertise. Basically, the one reason to engage an agent is because of their expertise. But I think, to be fair, we also need to explain what does expertise mean. So let me see. Expertise means real estate salesperson possess specialized knowledge about market trends, property values, and legal intricacies which can help you make informed decisions. I think this is, of course, it's important, but what does it make a difference for you? I think that's what you need to know. So for example, today, if you go to certain development, every buyer have certain limitation. So okay, if you are a buyer, Zane, you are a buyer, you have no access to any tools, anything about the development. So where can you find such information?
You probably can Google, and then you get very basic information on like the development itself.
Correct.
So you probably get like how many units are there, who's the developer, when is it completed. But honestly, buying a property is more than just knowing all these basic numbers. You also want to know how profitable is this development, what are the past transactions, what unit has been transacted, all these things that are more detailed. So normal buyer will not have access to this kind of information.
I think this is very, very relatable to, for example, our previous episode about EC, one of our podcasts about EC, should we get a MOP EC? So these are the things that, can you find online? Let's say if there's an EC that you see, like MOP, can you find it online or not? Whether will it continue to grow? Example, you buy at 1.2 million, you want to ask, will this development continue to grow in terms of price? Actually, we can't find one. As a consumer, we can't find. You can find maybe in YouTube, some of the educational video that we do, other people do, but you can also see it in, maybe you can ask ChatGPT also lah. Right? I think like how I ask it. But most importantly, real estate agents actually have access to certain portals. Example, for our company, we have something called
investment suites.
Investment suites. Under investment suites, there's a function called Pro Tools. So Pro Tools actually allow us Pro Trend that allow us to draw chart from previous development, 20, 30 years, and anything that is within data to search the trend and growth of different developments. Have you guys tried this tool before?
Yeah. So actually, what Zacson is essentially saying is, it's not just about compiling the kind of information or data, but it's also having all these data to actually make sense of, to help you all to do all the analysis, right? Yeah.
So any case studies that actually help you guys in terms of Pro Tools, Pro Trend?
Okay, so I didn't use the Pro Trend, but I used this condo development profitability.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the other time I went with one of my buyer, because understandably everybody will want to buy something that's cheap, right? So I have this client that's specifically looking for something in the CCR area, especially River Valley.
Yeah.
He will say, this development is very good because it's cheap, correct? Or you want to take a look for himself and it's big size. But when we look at the development, right, we went in, vibe check is totally off lah.
I know what condo you're talking about already.
Which one?
Cannot.
Okay.
Little retail bank.
Okay, so but you see, when I show him the profitability, right, so over the course of 10 years, there is about 4 units that's profitable, and about 20 to 30 units that is not profitable. So I asked him lah, you see there are such a huge percentage of this development is not profitable one. If the development is really so good, why are so many owners willing to cut loss and sell it? So you think for yourself lah, is this something that is worth it to enter or not? So using this kind of thing, we are able to actually help our client make sense of whether this is a safe purchase or not.
Yeah, then sometimes the client will also ask you this question. Since all the owners are making a loss, actually good ma. That means I'm getting a undervalued or discount from the first owner. Then the next question they will ask you, hey, if I were to buy a good buy and under the price of what the first owner bought, will this price continue to grow? Can I make back what they lost? And that's when the pro trend come in. Then we will need to analyze if this development in terms of per square feet layout, whether there's a gap between the new and the resale, will it continue to grow? So it actually comes hand in hand. So it doesn't mean they lose money,
Cannot buy.
We can actually go deeper, and which is something that consumers have no access in. Yeah.
So actually for most of the consumer, when they compare development, right, they don't really, they always single out a particular from experience, they always single out particular developments to, hey, wow, this layout is very good. But seldom they look as a locality, seldom they look as a whole region to kind of analyze. So that's why for us, when we have access to all this kind of information, we can do a quick scan. Let's say, within this area itself, this few project is selling below the market average. So these are some of the opportunity that we can actually look into as well. Yeah.
So if let's say, okay, now go back to our topic, whether should you engage an agent or not. If you are someone that has a lot of time and you have a
lot of patience
and high passion in real estate, that you will study all the trends, you will dig, every day see video, watch all the, what's that called? Example, one podcast from us is already, how long? 30-40 minutes.
Yeah.
If you got the patience to go and read and you really trust your own judgment, then go ahead lah. You can actually go purchase or sell a property without agent, it's okay. But if you are working and you rather spend more time with your family, or your focus is more on family and you just want someone to come in to give you the best advice, of course, having an experienced agent with the right tools is very important to me. So I think go to the next one, very important. Number 2, access to listings. Actually, what does access to listings mean? Actually, I'm asking back ChatGPT but sadly they will reply Actually, they will. They will or not? Example, if ChatGPT come out with this, you ask back what is access to listing, will they reply?
They might lah.
They might lah.
They might meh?
But why not I be your ChatGPT for this segment?
Okay, so what does access to listings mean?
No lah, it just means that having an agent would give you more access to different listings online beyond what you can find off all the different portals also lah. So as agents, we also have our own teams, we have our own group chats. We may potentially know about different listings that are available in the market that maybe have not hit the portals yet. So these are what we call off-market units lah.
Yep.
Personally, I think we have had clients who bought units that are not even on Property Guru or 99 or whatever yet.
Because you don't even need to list it.
Yeah, don't need to list so already. Yeah.
So usually what we do is whenever we have a new seller on board, or we know that there's a new listing coming out, usually we have coffee or we chat, or even within our group chat, we'll send out the listings first while we prep.
To post it online.
Because for example, for GetListed, how we list our unit is usually we will take a few days to get our photographer down to take photo right? Take photo already, take 1 or 2 days to process, take another probably half a day, 1 day to list it up. So by the time it's being officially decided by the owner they want to sell, until the day that we post is probably a 2-3 days gap, 4 days. But actually we already
can get an interest really.
We already blast out to our own network. And sometimes it gets sold before it is even listed. I think that's what Joey mean lah.
But even with the access to listings, like let's say as a buyer, you're scrolling on Guru or something, you are looking at all these listings. Let's say there's like maybe 50 units on sale in this development, as a buyer, you're going to click every single listing, right? It's so tiring, and you need to talk to every agent because they are not going to write the unit number or anything in their listing also. You don't know what floor, where it faces.
Yep.
So this is what getting an agent does. We will help you do all the chatting with the agent, chat with all 50 of them, ask them what you need, what level, everything. So when you want to buy, we can shortlist for you outright. You don't have to own self go and talk to 50 people.
This is what we call the master lease within the development.
Yeah.
So, for example, you guys can try. You do an experiment yourself. You search for some of the newly TOP or I'll call it sub-sale condos. Those that maybe
Treasure.
Treasure Tampines. You go for Florence Residence.
Yeah.
Or you can also go for developments like example Penrose have not TOP but they already cross their 3 years mark and they can start to sell. You go in, no photos one. Because there's no photos of the development, so only thing they can post a perspective, they post a price, description.
Yeah. If not, it's an empty house and all looks the same.
You don't even know which
30
is which.
30 to 40 of it is all empty houses.
Actually, I think if we take their photo and post, no one will know it's a different house.
Nobody will know.
Nobody
Yeah.
will know.
So I think that's the struggle or challenge that you will face off. Firstly, you text 50. Can you actually monitor whether all 50 reply? Then will you have the time to actually go and remind them, hey, I inquire for this listing, can you reply me? And if you don't have the time to do that, which means that the very busy agent that didn't reply might be the best unit that you could have bought. Right. So having an agent, I say, we take more time because it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
We'll take more time to make sure they
Things get
reply.
done.
Because
Some might be like the same listing.
same listing, if not some might be fake listing.
Same listing, when you schedule, then you also so-called there's duplication
Correct.
Correct. Then it's also waste of your time.
So it's either same listing or listing from the same team.
Or listing already sold, but they leave it there for you to see.
Sold and then auto repost, or
Yeah.
maybe it's a clickbait for you to call in. I mean, whichever reason, there's many different types of listing there. So agent's job is to filter all this away, remove, and then only send the master list to the buyer. So these are the things that people cannot see one, because we do a video tutorial on how we do these listings.
So all these are, to be honest, as a real estate agent, all these are like behind the scene. So a lot of my friends always ask me, like, oh, hey, for us, do you only just go viewing or not? What kind of admin work do we do? So behind the scenes, all this kind of admin work, scrubbing through all the available listing, talking to all the other different agents to understand like what is being offered on the table for let's say a specific developments. So it is a very tedious job, which nobody will say lah. For real estate agent, a lot of people will say, "Oh, hey, you're doing very well, drive good car," but a lot don't show the hard work behind. Yeah.
And usually filtering listings is the
Most tiring.
most tiring one.
Worst
to
is
be
when they
honest.
don't reply you.
They don't reply you.
Because for us, right, when we look through all this listing, right, so and when we talk to every single one of them, we also have like a site plan of the whole development itself.
Yeah.
So for us, when we see a specific listing, we'll ask, we'll want to find out what is the unit number, what's the stack information. For example, like Treasure, right? There are so many listings that are facing towards the expressway, and my buyer also don't want. So we scrub through like 40, 50 listings just to find that 2 listing that is away, and which my buyer quite like also lah. Yeah,
So it's easier for them lah.
it's
narrow
easier
down
for
already.
them lah, because there's no point keep looking at all these units that you don't like.
Yeah.
So we also want to be efficient as well lah.
Correct.
Time saving also.
Yeah.
Correct or not?
So that's exactly why having access to internal listing is important. Of course, we share something even more lah, which is to filter and to be efficient on giving the listings that the client want. ChatGPT also gave me another word, time saving. So the ChatGPT said they handle the time-consuming task of scheduling appointments, conducting property viewings, and handling paperwork, freeing up your time. So maybe on this, Jenelle can share more on what you think about this.
So first, like what Zane mentioned, is to scrub through all the listing, right? So what we do, we need to understand like what our clients their needs first. So like maybe some of them they don't want like certain facing, certain floor. So all these like we need to scrub through and like see what are the available units.
Yeah.
Hey, but can I ask you a question? Have you ever met a buyer that asks you to scrub for you, then disappear?
Have.
A lot of
You
time.
know
Yeah.
what I'm
So
talking
many
about?
times.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
because
Then-
there are also a lot of shoppers also lah. Like so which are not serious. So when we do all these very time consuming things, then the next thing that happens is like they
Okay,
they
thanks,
don't-
and then
okay, thank
don't
you.
reply.
Then,
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I bought the unit already.
yeah. yeah.
Yeah.
Some is also because of feng shui. So like all the numbers add up together must be like that. You know, the door must be facing a certain direction.
Correct.
Layout. You know,
Yeah.
so all this we also out of the norm lah, and we also sometimes help to do based on client requirement as well.
Correct. That's why I say sometimes when we do all this work, it doesn't mean that you will generate closure for us as well. So what else? What else do we
Then
do?
also some of them they do like sell and buy. So I think very important is to check like with the other units whether they have any extension or not, because this will actually impact the timeline.
The transition timeline from selling to buying.
Yeah.
And also getting an agent helps you manage the timeline to make sure you don't overlap.
Imagine you
somewhere.
don't manage.
Gone, die.
Won't die lah. Won't die lah.
Your money not in yet, you cannot pay for your
Yeah.
purchase.
Okay, so for example, HDB. What's the important things that we need to take note for timeline? Contra? Contra,
Extension.
for example, contra is one thing, extension. Why is contra important? Do you all know what to check? In order to do contra, you need to check with how many parties. So you're the seller, you want to do contra for your purchase.
Yes, you must check with your buyer and you must check with the house that you're gonna buy.
Yeah.
The-
So the buyer that come and buy your house cannot do contra.
Cannot do contra.
The house that you're gonna buy
They cannot do
cannot
contra.
do contra.
Only you.
Only you can do.
So if you are a seller and you go and sell and buy a house without checking this, and then both of the parties need to do contra, GG.
I think it's a good time for us to explain what is contra.
Contra means. So it's gonna be me. Contra means, for example, okay, for HDB HDB, if I own a HDB flat, okay, it's being financed by HDB loan
list.
or is fully paid. Okay, my next house that I want to transit to,
Also using HDB.
I'm also using HDB loan, or I'm going to be fully
Paying.
it. Then I can do contra, which means my selling completion and my buying completion
on the same
day.
Yeah, so basically the money in instant out into your next house.
Straight away, first day. So all your
Yeah.
appointments will be on the same day. And then from there, you request for 3 months extension for your selling, so that you have 3 months to move in or to renovate your place. So that's what we mean by contra. For private, it's different. Private has many different timelines.
Private is more flexible lah.
Yeah. So what are the things that we can play with for private in terms of timeline?
And for private, actually because it's so flexible, everything, to be honest, is based on the mutual agreement between the buying and selling parties also mah. So it's not say if you fix 3 month extension, actually you can do way more than that. You can do 6 month rent back.
For
you
private
can do
lah.
So there's a lot of flexibility when it comes to private timeline. Even the conveyancing process for HDB is actually 3 months, mah.
Yep.
So, but for private, it can drag as long as you want, provided both parties agree lah.
Option period also.
Also, yeah.
Can
So
play
there's a lot of flexibility when it comes to private.
So I think here you also mentioned paperwork. Paperwork, is it very time consuming? I think nowadays paperwork, to be fair,
It's
fairly
really
Maybe it's not about the time consuming part. It's about it
The
being
management,
Yeah, it's about being like the languages used in the official
Yeah.
documents also. It's a lot of jargons that consumer may not understand.
so when you sign an
also.
OTP, do you know what you're really signing or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the terms
So
and
as a
conditions.
buyer, if I sign a paper, what is my obligation? Correct or not?
Correct.
But does it mean if I sign, I don't want, I can back off?
Yeah.
You know. So all this, I think having an agent, of course, when you sign everything, at least they will help you to vet through, see what you are buying into lah.
Okay,
what
but to
kind
be
of contract.
fair, we cannot represent every single real estate agent in the market. But for us, we are very careful. I mean, for us, we will make sure all our due diligence done, whatever need to be checked or to protect our buyers or seller, be
Yeah.
done lah. But we can't represent everybody. Yeah. Now, okay, next one. Wow, negotiation.
So on this point, so what did ChatGPT say? So experienced real estate agents are skilled negotiator who can help you secure the best deal possible, whether you are buying or selling, which is true. But one thing that makes me very puzzled or very confused is sometimes as a seller agent, right? Correct. A direct buyer come to us, okay, and then ask, hey, can lower the price or not? A very confusing one, you know. So buyers out there, they need to be aware of one thing. We are seller agent. We push for we are in for the interest of our seller. We want to maximize their gains. We want to make sure that you can sell the highest price possible. We are not there to entertain you and make sure you can get a good discount. What?
So
You're
example.
talking from personal experience, right?
No, but it's true. But the fact is, I'm a seller agent. My role is to get the highest price possible for my seller.
But the truth is, wherever a buyer comes in, I mean, it's just a bit of behind the scenes lah. Okay, if you are the seller agent, I'm the buyer. I tell you, hey, Jenelle, hey, please help me your unit is selling at 1 million. Can you help me nego down to 950? What will you say?
I mean, doesn't make sense, what? Like,
No, but what will you tell to me as a buyer?
like
I'll
Try
try.
my best, lor.
I'll
I'll
try.
try my best,
Yeah.
but actually, we always say I will try my best for you. But to be honest, we are trying our best for
For
ourselves.
ourselves. Yeah,
Right
lah.
now, but we cannot straight away reject you as well because we need to convey every single
Offer.
offer. But the thing is, everybody need to understand we are representing
Seller.
If I help you, I'm not
Helping my client.
I'm not fulfilling my duty to my seller.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you that I'll do my best. It's because I want to make sure that you are still in the how to say in the game to buy the house. I never say, cannot 950, no chance.
What we can do is we will talk to our sellers and be like, oh, we have an interested party, but they only want to give 950.
Correct. So even if the seller come back with 980, we will still do our best to fight for the 980 one.
Yeah.
To be very
So that's why for purchasing part, right? So a lot of people choose to work with a buyer agent as well. Okay. So talking about this negotiation part, right? So this is also like a personal experience as well.
Yep.
Previously, one of my case, right? Imagine okay, one with agent, one without agent. Both buying a buyer lah. So they offer the same price. Do you think my buyer or my seller will go for the one with agent or the one without agent? Both offering the same price.
I think the question will be, will the seller agent choose to
Yeah.
close the deal with a buyer that has a buyer agent or a direct buyer without a buyer agent? So let's vote. Okay.
Wait, HDB or private?
Either lah.
Either lah. We put commission aside. Co-broking fee. I know what you're asking lah. The seller need to co-broke, etc. But by right, okay, we think about price first. Same price.
Talk about interest of our
Interest
seller.
of seller, same price. Who will we choose? Okay. If choose seller, raise your hand. If choose the buyer with agent, raise your hand. But what's the reason? Why?
Reason
Why all choose?
Okay, so for me, right, if I compare, okay, I give you this scenario also lah. If today you have the opportunity to buy a Rolex watch,
Yeah.
buy same price from a dealer, vs buying from someone from Carousel, same price
Yeah.
which one will you buy from?
Of course you learn lah.
Why?
Because
got guarantee like
either guarantee or it's from somewhere
from a shop
someone proper to
Yeah.
represent
Yeah.
that watch.
So exactly, I think this case is because why you want to choose with work with agent is also because they are subject matter expert. They are someone that's credible, correct or not? So when we ask them, oh, your client done your HFE, yada yada, they are very clear of the timeline that is required. They are clear of the, let's say, financial aspect of their client. But when we go, let's say if you choose to work with a direct buyer, on their front they can say, oh yeah, everything is done up, but because they also imperfect knowledge, they this is not their main job. So sometimes they
Might
probably
miss out certain
assume,
things,
they may assume that things are fine. but suddenly throughout halfway through the process, oh sorry, my HFE expire, or halfway through my bank loan suddenly reject, or I haven't do, this kind of thing, then the deal may burst.
Yeah.
So for me as a seller agent, given that both are so-called offer the same price, I'll definitely work with the one with agent one. It's like a guarantee lah.
And also we also want our fellow agents to make money also lah, because we know how hard realtors work for their clients as well. I just closed a deal for a buyer. I don't name the development lah. Okay, it's a first time buyer, very young buyer. Basically this couple don't know anything one. They really don't know anything. So whenever they put up an offer,
I'll bid.
Okay, example, I'll say the first offer is 760. Okay, then asking price 830 lah, 830,000. They put up 760. Try ma, we always try. Then after that, the seller came back with 820. So the buyer was thinking, okay lah, then I go up higher lor. So one shot they from 760 they go up to
800.
No lah, almost. They were already asking me to calculate 808. What's the calculation? So immediately they give a jump of 48,000. But the thing is, that's exactly what we are trying to share here. Negotiation. That's why it's called negotiation skill. You need to have certain way of putting your offer forward, everything. So hopefully the seller agency this won't be upset. Okay, basically my buyer can pay 800 up to 800,000. And I know 800,000 the listing can be sold. Okay, but my buyer already going to give me. And now she gave me the last offer was, she can go up to 800, but my buyer gave me counter offer 795. Sure close one ma? But I told myself, I feel based on my interaction with the seller side, I should be able to cut some more. So I took a leap of faith. I gave 790. I wanted to surprise the buyer lah. Because no matter what, if 790, they get the bonus ma. So true enough, the seller accepted 790. So when I told my buyer to prepare a check of 1%, it not prepare 7,950 meh? 7,950. I say no, actually I offered for 790 and accepted. And they're damn happy. They're damn happy. If you go and see my Instagram, I did a screenshot. Thank you, Zacson, etc. Everything. Because I think these are the things that are very important. Okay, so because of my interaction with the seller side and my gauge feeling of how much the seller is willing to come down or to negotiate, I'm able to get 5K lower for my buyer. So is it worthy engaging a buyer? Answer is yes.
So this is for private or HDB?
Private.
Yeah.
It's for private.
So similarly, for HDB cases, I think for a lot of buyers out there, so for HDB, there are also good facing and also bad facing one, correct or not? So one of my listing that I was selling, right, the similar floor, bad facing and good facing, the price difference is about 55,000, So a lot of, let's say direct buyers, if they were to go to Property Guru, just to look at some of the recent transaction, they probably only can ascertain, this floor, someone sold at this price. Then similarly, another unit at the same floor sold at much higher, correct or not? But they do not have access to all these exact unit facing, correct or not? So for them, they could have so-called make a bad judgment in terms of what kind of prices to offer. So similarly, if you are buying for a unit that has good facing, of course you need to use that particular transaction for the good facing one to ascertain how much is a realistic offer. Correct. So if you use average, chances are you might get outbid because your the offer price that you put in is not competitive lah. So to me, I told some of the buyers, to get outbid is okay. It's just that you never get the unit law. You can always go and find another one. But the worst case is for a bad unit, you go and put out an extraordinary high offer and end up paying more than what you should.
Not bad unit lah.
It's like a
not
bad, not so premium facing one.
Correct.
But you use the good
least preferred.
Yeah, least preferred. But you use the good facing transaction to ascertain your offer price. End up you paying much higher than you should lah. Yeah.
Correct. And that's exactly what you are saying over here for point number 5 from ChatGPT,
Like market insight as
you need to
well.
have market insight. So you need to know which are the facings that are sold at a certain price. I think if I'm not wrong, I think buyers that they log in online, they can't see the transactions of specific unit number. They cannot, right? But for us, because we paid for some data platforms, we are able to have access to unit number. That's why we can accurately have this insight on which unit are sold.
Actually, we sold a unit previously. It was quite a high floor unit in a big development. I'm not going to mention which development. And then we sold it at a record price. But it also is because we had unblocked facing. So actually, there's another listing now in the exact same development asking for the same price that we sold for, but it's the face west sun kind of facing.
Yeah.
So if you are a buyer looking into that estate, you cannot pay that price.
So you
for,
cannot
west
use
side.
you cannot use
my
their
transaction
transaction.
to go and pay that price.
Yeah. So the only way to do is you need someone to have with access to such insights to help you to decide how much to offer. Because usually for bank valuation, they don't really factor in the view one. Right? For bank valuation, when you request from a banker, it's just unit size,
Transaction.
and then level. They won't ask you whether is it renovated or not. They also won't ask you whether it's facing the sea, forest, or anywhere.
They will also not ask within 1 km of.
They won't. They won't.
It's
just
purely based on
transaction.
the financial.
So basically, that comes to a point of having good market insights, which is point number 5. So I think commercial time, now that you mentioned about buying watch, buying a watch from either a dealer or Carousel. Anyway, Jenelle, I hear say you are representative or affiliated to what?
KB.
KB Luxury.
KB Luxury. I will only put a logo if you sponsor this video. So if I buy a property through you, will I get a discount from KB Luxury?
Can
Hey, but basically, she sells watches too, luxury watches too. So she also knows the importance of having a dealer. That's why she replies so quickly. Okay, so now we go to the next point. This one very straightforward. Network. Example, Joey, today, do you have a preferred list of bankers to work with?
Yes.
Do you have a preferred list of law firm to work with?
Yes.
Do you have a preferred list of ID to work with?
Yes. Wait, you know all these questions, right? My client just asked me maybe 2 days ago.
Really?
She just messaged me, I need lawyer, I need law firm, and I need quote for renovation.
Actually,
Straight
if you
away
ask
message
me, today who has the most lobang in Singapore, right? Actually, I feel real estate agents can be one. After 10 years, I realize all my contact is what? Movers, painter, aircon, electrician, plumber, ID, banker, law firm. So network, is it important? Does it help or not, Joey? Do you think for having such a huge
Honestly,
network?
I think it really, really helps. Like, I think it's easier also when my clients ask me, do I have a lawyer or banker to recommend? Then it's easier for me to get them connected as well. Instead of having my clients have to go and source on their own, then they don't know what they need to tell the bank or lawyer also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then from there, example, let's say if we seal a deal, a seller deal, or we seal a buyer deal, we help someone purchase. The banker is within our panel, the law firm is within our panel, the ID is within our panel, the mover is within our panel.
Everything we can oversee.
Yeah, at least we can 交代, or we know how to overlook.
Yeah lah, and over the years, we also will have built a good rapport with all these people also.
Correct.
So the working relationship also will be smoother.
So is it that our client will get better price also? Maybe.
We try. I cannot say no, but we try.
Yeah, because of all this good relationship that we have with all these vendors as well, right? So sometimes when we have difficult cases or we need their help to expedite some issues, they are also able to respond very quickly to us lah. So you might not get that kind of responsiveness if it's like a one-off vendor that you
Actually,
look
just
elsewhere.
1 week ago, I think I texted this banker. Then he say, my team only Monday can get back. Then I say, no, my client need answer now. Then you give me 30 minutes. In 1 hour, he got everything settled.
The IPA.
The IPA, everything. It was a Saturday lah. It was Saturday.
So actually sometimes we ask for favor lah.
Yeah, it's favor one lah.
Yeah, no choice one. So will they do it for the buyer?
Maybe.
I think so.
Maybe.
But the only thing is the buyer won't have access to their personal phone number or their work number. They always have to call in hotline.
And hotline is not available on
The
weekend.
number you have just called is not in use. Our operating hours is only on Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
Yeah. Because for us, you see, all this network, whenever we refer case to them, right, it's also like consistent business as well. So all these vendor, in a way, they also want to so-called help us out with all these favors so that we will continue to patronize them and refer clients to them also.
Correct.
But if it's just a one-off case, the buyers, they themselves is not going to refer any case to them. Correct or not?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's why with us, it's always when we have all this network, it actually helps in ways that you don't really see.
It's
on the
invaluable
surface,
this
invaluable.
information. Yeah.
So some of these efforts and network is not something that you can buy from commission one. I would say it's really something beyond us. That what we maintain this relationship with these vendors for many years. So, but I realize our podcast so far have been talking all about purchase, right? So now let's move to this point, marketing expertise. So ChatGPT say this is one of the reasons why you should consider engaging a real estate agent when selling your place. So why should we engage an agent?
I think as realtors, we have like the proper platform to reach out to the right kind of target audience. So like instead of people, I mean like those direct sellers, they actually normally list it on Carousel because they don't have the access to like Property Guru, 99Co. But as agents, we paid this kind of platforms, and so we can actually reach out.
How much is these platforms going for right now?
Well, easily the most basic one I think also got 4K, 5K.
I just renewed for $4,700.
Yeah.
So the higher
But
tier,
you don't say which platform.
yeah. So the higher tier can be 8,000, 9,000, even 19,000, 20,000.
Correct.
Yeah. So our job is, you see, a lot of people think our job is just to go there, switch on the light, open the door, right? But you see, the fact is actually we have a lot of investment in terms of marketing costs, investment on all this access to all this platform. Everything is paid one month.
So how much to turbo and repost a listing per week?
So now, like, if you turbo, depending on the location, normally it's about like 70 to
200 lah.
So little, 70?
I mean, for the area that I work in, like,
But to turbo, I think 100 to 200.
yeah.
Or that between.
About 175
So
to
per-
200.
It also depends on the number of listings in that area.
So they don't know what
also.
we are talking about. They don't know what is 100, 200. Basically, what we are talking about is the amount of credits we need.
Which
to
is
post.
equivalent to
Yeah.
dollars lah, almost.
Okay, we just give a ballpark amount because the
One
credits,
credit is
One
about
credit.
75.
Okay, one credit 75 cents, depends on what package you buy lah. So let's say if it's 200 credit to turbo times
It's about
75 cents,
$150.
how much?
It's about $150.
150. Then
average.
repost is how much?
Repost now is 6 credits.
Per repost after turbo lah.
repost.
Then why you want so cheap?
Mine is 11 eh.
No, basic posting is 6 credits.
Basic posting
Oh.
6, but
Yeah.
the
My-
reposting within turbo
It's about
40, 50.
My
30,
turbo is
30.
205. My repost is 35.
Yeah.
Depends on the area. If the area has very low traffic, then I think all the costs will be very
Lower,
low.
dynamic.
But it's a very high demand, a lot of competition, then it's going to be very high lah.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that I think you mentioned, the platform. And then other than that, what's that? So ChatGPT said when selling a property, agents can develop effective marketing strategy to attract potential buyer and maximize exposure, ultimately leading to a quicker sale at the best price. So maybe it's time to for you to represent GetListed to showcase how we are different and what we make a difference. So hey, where you can? Is it I suddenly throw this ball to you, you cannot catch? Okay, so by example, GetListed, what do we do for selling? This one you have Instagram so many.
Yeah. So we do like open house, we do
Professional
professional
photo-
photography.
Correct.
Yeah.
Professional photography, we must highlight. We don't use handphone, yeah. We don't walk in with our phone and take picture.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we usually get our photographer down. So our IG handle is this one you should know, right? IG handle.
GetListed.
GetListed. I just
You made me doubt myself.
testing you. GetListed.sg, you see Janelle's listing, all of our listings here are all professionally shot. so that make sure we have the maximum exposure, and then leading to quicker sale and price.
Yeah.
Right.
So all this nicer photo, right, more aesthetic lah, is to actually drive traffic and increase the click rate for our listing
Because we
online.
are spending so much on the credits already.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that the credits are spent on nicely taken photos. And because of that, we have more traffic, more viewing, then more open house, like what Jenelle mentioned. And then we have competition within buyers and then fetch a better price for sellers. Right. Legal protection. Wow, this one, it states it's me.
Yeah.
Legal protection. So keep it very simple. I'll just give you an example. What does legal protection mean? There's a few forms that you need to sign usually, right? When you sell a flat or you buy a flat, there's always the option to purchase, regardless it's HDB or private. But there's also another form called commission form that you need to sign within real estate agents. Sometimes we always think that the legal documents is just about the sale, the purchase. Sometimes we also need to take note, highlight of the commission that is going to pay, payable to the agent as well. So one example, let's say for private property, there's one portion that you can choose to either give the 4% of your exercise fee, because 1% option fee, 4% exercise fee. Your 4% exercise fee you can either give to the seller's law firm in their holding account, or you can give it straight to the seller. So this is the kind of legal protection that you can actually leverage on within your OTP. So how can you protect yourself as a buyer? Firstly, 4% give to
Law firm.
law firm. So to protect yourself, just in case, in last time, long time ago, seller take 5%,
Run away.
and then the only thing you can do is not caveat into the the condo, then nothing else you can do. So that's the kind of legal protection you can. And also by signing a proper commission form with your agent also guarantees that at the end of the day, the commission will not
Anyhow.
change. And if you realize nowadays the option to purchase also includes the agent commission inside as well to how do I say
It's more transparent.
more transparent,
explicit lah.
so the buyer will know, the seller will know, and then the company, the commission will go straight to the company as well. The agent will not have any chance to say, no I didn't receive your commission.
So I think the CEA form, like what we share also entails a lot of so-called the responsibility and due diligence that the agent has to deliver as well.
Right.
So getting into all these things also protect your interest as a seller or a buyer when you engage your agent as well.
So for example, the CA form, like what you mentioned, have the duty at the back. So at any point of time, you think that your agent is not
serving in the best interest of you.
correct. That means, the deal signed already, everything, MIA, just wait for commission. You actually have the right to dispute over this, whether to pay the full commission or not, or the commission that the agent actually requires. So this is the kind of legal protection. Of course, there's many more. So every single case that we transact, we'll explain all the forms properly. And of course, whatever you sign have to be sent to you immediately.
Yep.
Right? So now, this one is one of the keywords of 2024, I realize. There's a transition in terms of this thing. Number 8, emotional support.
Empathetic.
Not really lah. Just you don't realize, man. Nowadays, like when you go TikTok lah, you go Instagram lah, when you scroll lah, it's always about how to say very
Protect your mental health.
protect your mental health. It's like, hey, why is it that we are having? Is it there's an increase of stress, increase of what's that called? Everybody's getting more emotional, stressed out at work or whichever, I don't know. Anxiety. That's why there are so many things coming up. And so having an emotional support is very important.
Yeah,
Right.
because with buying or selling a house, I think it comes with a lot of emotions. While it's a happy thing, it's also quite stressful. If you are, let's say, a seller who maybe takes a very long time to sell his house, then you are very stressed. Actually, just today, I just texted one of my clients just to remind him, don't worry, we are working on it, don't be so stressed. And then he replied me with a thumbs up. Like, he just replied me with a
That's
thumbs up.
good lah.
That's
It's a
good
good
lah.
thing because his unit honestly is the commission is very high, so it's taking some time.
Yeah.
So he just said, if as long as can sell, I can wait. you all will work hard. Then we, okay.
Yeah.
Then he thumbs up me. Then I, okay. But now he not stressed, makes me stressed lah. Make me stressed lah.
Because you tell him not to be stressed, ma.
Yeah.
You told him not to be stressed, right?
Yeah.
So because this kind of emotional thing comes in many ways. It might not be from your agent, right? Seller agent, okay, let's say you have the tip-top agent, okay, you got a decent one, that's your selling. But sometimes when the buyers come into the house, certain remarks that they pass on your house, we cannot control, ma. They come in, they will say, hey, why like that one?
Why
So messy one? Why so many kids? But they will never do. Maybe you are a working mom, you just come back from work, just nice, your kid was having a playtime and the toys are all on the floor. Wow, then you already tired already, you want to eat your dinner. While eating dinner, the viewing come, hey, 为什么这个家这样乱的?
You still have to entertain
No, and actually usually the seller won't respond one.
But it's just them.
But inside is them sian.
Inside already, get out. No lah. So that's why after the viewing, we will always speak to our seller a bit. Anyway, next time I also tell the buyers, try not to make such remarks. I also think that it's not very nice. I've actually told the buyer as well. But I don't understand your situation, etc. We are always there to
provide comfort.
Some things we cannot control, but we always try to cushion it down a bit. Yeah, as transactional as it seems. But everything in house is so, how to say, in Singapore, how a home is so, how do I call it? It's like so close to your heart, man.
Yeah.
You work so hard for this house, you spend so much time on this house, while somebody come in and just comment on it. Or someone come in just slash your price by 20%, how you feel? Hey bro, this must have this one right. You will TL lah, right or not? But we also need to tell the seller why they offer this price to make it more
Rationalize
it instead of emotional. So that's what we meant by emotional support. Right, Joey, anything to add on for this one? But I think you're a very good counselor lah, usually.
Yeah, very good one. I always like to text client. Because when you want to give them emotional support, right, you cannot text in group chat.
Your partner rolling
you cannot text in group chat. He knows I didn't text in the group chat today.
You always PM one.
I PM and like, are you okay? Can you, calm down? So,
I know you even talk to your client
touch.
about Taylor Swift. 有的没有的啦.
Yeah, make friend ma.
Make friend. I think that's the kind of personal relationship we want. Then we
Yeah.
know what's going on ma. Okay, last point. Finally, somehow this podcast went longer than it took, but it's okay. I think it's very important. So last one, ChatGPT said the last and most important point is to have continued support from the real estate agent. So ChatGPT mentioned even after transaction is complete, real estate agents can offer ongoing support and assistance, answering questions and addressing any concerns that may arise. So let's list some example.
Okay, so to be honest, we are actually more than real estate agent. Sometimes we feel we are also magicians also. Magicians, like a lot of things that by right not in our purview. But sometimes when client asks, we still have to entertain as well.
Correct.
So for example, like let's say the whole conveyancing process is over already, completion already over, my client get the key already. For some reason, let's say the access card not working, I also go down to help them to reset the PIN for their access card.
Oh my God,
for example,
we sat there for 2 hours.
Yeah. For example, if let's say the MCST they want to apply their car park, for some reason the MCST say they are still not the registered owner based on their record in the system, we also go back to our law firm to check in whether the conveyancing process has been done properly or not.
But actually, we can choose not to one.
Yeah, because by right, the deal is already over, ma.
Correct.
But I feel all these are still some of the, to me, still invaluable also lah. Because to me, I also want to have this ongoing relationship with all our clients as well. So as much as we can support, as much as within what we can do, I always try to do our best also. Because the fact is, not just after the transaction is over, after you issue OTP, there's still quite a long way to go until completion, correct or not? So in between, buyers or seller also might have fear of, what if during this period something happen, or the money can come back in time, especially like those going to retire above the age of 55, their RE account, they need to talk to CPF to get the BRS and basic retirement sum set up so that they can cash out additional funds for their purchase. So for all these kind of things, we also have to so-called constantly assist them, assure them that things is going to be okay also. Because to us, for us, we do this on a daily basis. But for all these buyer and seller, right, for them, buy and sell process is probably a few
2-3 times
in their
one
whole
time.
lifetime there. They are naturally not familiar. So when it comes to all these such big quantum one, they definitely cannot sleep or or have anxiety. So we are there to actually offer them the assurance and also comfort.
But there's one thing that is because this is called continued support. Continuous support means that the completion is done, commission pay already. But there's one thing that you always need your agent. No. After a sale and completion, after you hand over keys, there's one thing you will need your agent to have this continued support one.
Review.
No. Okay, like Google review is one. No, that one is client to us. That this one thing, the agent must make sure that the buyer inform whenever there's letters coming to the seller.
Oh my God.
Yeah, correct. You all forget about this. After every transaction completion, the seller will always say, "Hey, please tell the buyer if there's any letters, please inform me. Hey, but sometimes I cannot collect. Can you help me collect and pass to me?" No, you never do before?
Have
Have.
a lot of
I
time.
think all of us do it. So this is what I mean by continuous support. We can choose not to, but we know that the letters will still come on. But this is a very good example of continuous support.
Sometimes it's like the bank letter. Sometimes it's like replacement card for after your credit card expire, right?
No, another thing is maybe your Shopee order. You order before you hand over your key, and somehow it delivered after completion.
Possible also.
So these are the things that we really need to take note. So anything to add on? I think for this episode, we are not here to just keep selling real estate agent, because these pointers are not given by us. It's by ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT, can you list down a few reasons on why or what are the factors to consider when engaging a real estate agent? So these are the points. So we are here to elaborate and to share with you what we do offline and behind the scenes. All right, good, everybody. So that's all for today's episode, and I hope I covered every single point over here. I guess so. Don't worry, I'll do the, what's that called? Timestamp for you, so easier for you. And then I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye. If you're considering whether to engage an agent for your purchase or sale or rental or talking too much, I'm going to restart again. Here it is, let go. Hey, so late. It's okay. Okay, can.